Good morning to you. A couple of days after the wonderful event that will be talked about in the future as the turning point, and that's quite apt to use that term, those two words together, turning point, marking the tragic murder of Charlie Kirk. And I said before that I hoped that they would um, have a minute's silence for him, and they did. It was almost perfectly observed. Well done, everyone. Um, like I was saying, 500,000 people being absolutely silenced with discipline like that. It shows. It shows that we are by far the better people, because we would also respect a minute's silence for a political figure that was opposed to us, I believe. Anyway, like I said, yes, a turning point in history. When history is taught in the future, with in the wonderful kingdom of England, there will be that will be. This is the point where they managed to turn things around. That it was the beginning of a very difficult period where I can't go into it here. I have to be very ambiguous. Lots of suffering took place, but it meant that the English people regained their pride, their identity, and took control of their country. And it's now the thriving centre of the world's economic power. So something like that. Allow me a little leeway here. So no, I do believe it will be. It is a key, very, very key moment, and I want to go to more. However, that was an issue. That never being enough space for all those people. And I don't know where the stage was, but if you had all of Whitehall, did they not? I wasn't there, so I didn't make it, so people can tell me. Why did they not have the stage right up the sort of the Trafalgar Square end and allowing more people to get in there? Do you know what I mean? Like, if it was, and I think this is right, so obviously I apologise if I'm wrong. Did they not want the stage close to Downing Street as possible to sort of send a message there? But, there was so many people that couldn't get in. And it was frustrating. We were bottlenecked for a very long time, and it was getting testy. There was, there were a lot of people just trying to push to the front, and a less disciplined group of people, there could well have been a trampling. People could have got crushed, possibly. I'm not trying to be alarmist here. I'm just saying, like, that needs to be considered for future events. I understand that they tried to get the event so that it was away from Antifa. And here's another little sideline, right? So last week I made videos about the police and why they are our enemy. And yes, there are some that worked closely with Tommy to try to make that event as peaceful as possible. I respect those police officers for doing that. But then at the same day, you've still got the same police that you are all in one club, deliberately bringing Antifa to the edge of the Patriots to try to instigate problems. And I believe there's also a point where they blocked the planned route, just try to stop people getting through. And of course, they got BTFO'd on that one, and good. But also, it doesn't look good, does it? It's still skirmishes. It's still trouble. It still gives the other side the footage they want. But obviously, let's just say, if it was 1 million or more, possibly, the guy said to me that was next to me, said that he'd been speaking to some police, and those police were telling them that it was 3 million. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the difference between 1 million people and 3 million people looks like, because we couldn't get to see it all. And that aerial footage where it pans on for ages, thank you, Guardian, for telling on yourselves, I don't think it even covers what was in Parliament Square, does it? And what was in Whitehall. So God knows how many. But for the next event, whenever that is, I imagine it'll be sort of early summer, I'm thinking. Could we not do this at Hyde Park? That is an exceptionally large space where it could easily accommodate that many people and more. Or what about this? Have the event somewhere in London if you want to have it in London, but have organised areas with big screens and big speakers to put on the event in other cities so that the entire event can be attended by 10 million people, 15 million people. You know, if you add them up in Birmingham, in Manchester, in Bristol, etc., etc., you get the point. In Glasgow, Belfast, you know, probably Dublin as well. I'm sure the Southern Irish guys would love to be involved in this. I believe that the one thing that the globalist, socialist commies, whatever you want to call them, have done is they found a way to unite the Proddies and the Catholics, and I bet they didn't realise they could do that. So yeah, that's just my thoughts. I don't know. Anyone else think that's an idea? Let's make this a national protest. I know that will mean money to put on those events. I, for one, would be happy to put my hand in my pocket and donate a few quid if it meant that we could have a screen, you know, in a city not too far for me to travel, easier for me to get to, and just think of all those people that just they look at the prospect, the misery of traveling to London. I mean, because I wanted my lady to come, when she wanted to come, I wanted her to have as pleasant an experience as possible. So we travelled to Reading the night before, stayed in a hotel overnight, so we didn't have to drive into London and try to pay London prices. And then we got into Paddington, and then on the tube from Paddington to Blackfriars. You know, so the whole thing cost me a fair bit of money, and that is off-putting for a lot of people. So that's my thoughts. Let's get the next one so well attended, where, you know, a third of the country attends in one way or another at a live event, or being broadcast live to a big screen in a park or in a city somewhere. I think that would be epic. I really do think, guys. So for what it's worth, share that thought if you agree. Maybe see if that they've probably already considered it. I hope they've already considered that, and I'm just thinking of it after they thought of it. But anyway, I'll stop waffling, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.